The AMP Energy Racing Series returns to finish the 2015 season at Road America for the Road America 200 for race number 16. The AAA Pole Award is going to go to Tyler Diefer, had a strong showing at Watkins Glen and won that race leading off 50 laps, and also had a very strong showing at Willow Point this year. So a great road course driver, and he starts on the pole once again here in the number 20. Nate Smith starts to his outside in the number 83. Mac DiCario starts third. Darian Mannarin with a nice run filling in for Casey Anderson starts fourth, and in the fifth position is Jason Miller in the number 7, who always seems to pick up his game, so to speak, towards the end of the season. Right off the get-go, Mac DiCario looks to the outside of Nate Smith, and he has David Lee Bibson and Chad Lipinski behind them, two guys who are in desperate needs of good runs, Bibson especially, but DiCario doesn't look like he's going to be able to get that spot away just yet. As we go back further in the pack, it looks like Jerry Richardson, Mertz, and Kenny Gerald's last week's winner at Charlotte get into a little bit of a wreck. Gerald's with the most damage, definitely. Let's go on board him in the Holiday Inn Ford. Smashes into the Red Bull Volkswagen of Josh Mertz, who surprisingly isn't at the front here at Road America. And Gerald is going to retire from that with some major front end damage. Michael Carter in the number 39 is our points leader. He started way in the back. And honestly, he's not a very good road course driver, but he did run well at Willow Point, and he's just biding his time right now in the back, trying to stay out of trouble. As you see, it just looks like a huge mess in the back of the pack. Guys going high and low. It's really hard to figure out what they're doing back there early on in this one. Tyler Diefer's gone to a pretty big lead, about a second over Nate Smith in the 83. That is now Mac DiCario in the number 96, who did end up passing Nate Smith. And he will continue to cruise on. Todd Kinsen would actually retire early on in this one. Did not get going on the green. Unsure why. I think it's a mechanical issue on the number 82. And he would retire without completing a lap. Here is Jack Jefferson in the 51 going off the track on lap number 2 on the final corner. You see Gerald's, that's where he's going to dip in and retire in his number 14. With that heavy front end damage, but Jack Jefferson is going to fall all the way to the back. Here's his teammate David Lee Bibson in the 57. Mentioned that he was running at the front of the field. He's running in 5th right now. Definitely a driver you don't see up at the front. He did get his first win at Karyala, which was a road course, but the 57 definitely looking strong after a very miserable season in that Cat Dodge, and he currently follows in 5th position here at Road America. Battle for second continues to heat on as here's Nate Smith going around Mac DiCario, who looks like he got into the wall a little bit in his McDonald's Buick off that corner, but nevertheless the 83 is going to take the spot away, and Nate Smith will continue to pursue the leader Tyler Diefer. Willow Point winner Mike Oppenheimer is running in the back, something you generally don't see from this driver, as he's always been known to be a road course driver, and that whole team as a whole has been very good at the road courses in this series. Definitely surprising to see the 99 back there. He has a little bit of left side damage, maybe got into the wall. Bit of a long run here as we go through the field here. Jason Miller is in 5th. You saw Lipinski in 3rd now, ahead of DiCario. And you see the rest of the field going by. There's Tommy Richer up in the top 10. Sean Glossum having a nice run. We mentioned Darian Mannarin with a good qualifying run. He's fallen back a little bit, and you see the rest of the field going by as it's very spread out. It's only 7 laps, but on Road America, that is a decently long green flag run. So this track is just massive, and you see the back of the field is a little bit closer together, but here we are with a battle for 3rd. Mac DiCario trying to get around Chad Lipinski, and hard to tell at this angle, but he does get around him, at least for now. And he will try to run down the 83 of Nate Smith. And yeah, it's very single file right now. Not too much going on the racetrack. Aside from this, as Ike Durbin on lap number 10 is going to hit the wall a little bit. Lots of guys are getting wide on that corner and hitting the wall. A lot of guys with some left side damage. As you see the 55 just loses a little bit of grip, gets into the grass, and he just has to hang on from there. Luckily doesn't get too much damage, and luckily for the other guys, there was nothing else following that up. As you see, the 55 will continue on. Here's Nate Smith the very next lap doing almost the same thing. Doesn't quite get to the wall, but he will lose second spot to Chad Lipinski, it looks like. And right there, maybe Lipinski can get a run on him, maybe not. But Nate Smith definitely loses a lot of ground. He had gained a second on Tyler Diefer to that point, but the 83 will now have to get all that back. He has had the faster car. See, Diefer's not even in the picture anymore, but Chad Lipinski is all over him now in the 18. Here's Jimmy Cohone going off. He was in 10th. He's going to smack into the tires. No caution for this, but the 36 done for the day after what looked like was going to be a great run for the 36 team. And man, that car has just had some awful luck the past couple of years, and he's done early on in this one on lap 10. Chad Lipinski finally does get around the 83 of Nate Smith for second the very next lap, and he gets a pretty big gap on him right away. But the next lap, that same spot just seems to be getting these guys. He will lose the second spot back to Nate Smith and will smack into the wall. The 18, a pretty big lick into that outside wall. See, Justin Pisani's back there in fourth now, but the 18 definitely with some left side damage now. That might slow him up a little bit. Mentioned Justin Pisani just a second ago. Here he is. He's trying to run down those two guys. He's been the fastest car on the racetrack the past couple of laps. Retiring after this year, but it's been a great career for Justin Pisani as he decides to step down and take a more managerial role within JN Motorsports as he looks to finish off his career on a high note. And the 16 car, he definitely is decent at road courses. Got his first win at Knox Raceway. Lap 15, here's the beginning of green flag stops. Tim Averill is going to start them off. Not really any of the lead guys in right now. Averill came in from the 10th position. The next lap, here comes Tyler Diefer in the 20, and he will surrender the lead to Nate Smith. The first lead change of the race. Diefer, like I mentioned earlier, dominated at Watkins Glen, and he's looking to do the same here at Road America. Doing so far. Will not lead every lap, though, because there goes Nate Smith in the 83, and Nate Smith will actually lead the next lap. Tyler Diefer coming out of the pits. Great stop from the 20 team, and he hits into the wall. I don't know whether that damage is going to hold him up at all, but Tyler Diefer, with what looks like I'm having a hard time comprehending what he was doing there. I don't know if that's going to affect his race car that much, but nevertheless, Tyler Diefer with some right side damage, that could possibly cut that tire down as well. We'll have to see what that was about and if that'll affect him at all. Nate Smith comes in a second time over after getting caught speeding in the pits, and you see his 83 slowly makes the trek down. That will completely ruin his day from second, and he will fall back to 32nd. He actually does the same exact thing as Diefer does in his second time through the pits, and that looks a lot worse than Diefer's damage, but Nate Smith, his day has completely gone south after having a very fast race car. After green stops have cycled out, Tyler Diefer holds a slight lead over Chad Lipinski in the 18. That damage is affecting the AutoZone Ford a bit more than I would have thought at first glance, and Chad Lipinski is all over the back bumper of the number 20 car. Lipinski not really known for his road course racing, but he's definitely having a strong day in that Ask.com Buick. He's going to look underneath the 20 car that same lap, and looks like he may get it done here. Maybe not. 20 car obviously very strong. That right side damage doesn't seem to be holding him up that much, and it looks like Lipinski's definitely got the upper hand in this battle no matter what happens right here. It looks like the 18 is going to find a way around him eventually. Justin Pisani has snuck into the third spot with obviously Nate Smith having some troubles in the 83, and Pisani continues to try to run down the 18, maybe getting a peek under him here, maybe not. And Diefer has actually extended his lead a little bit after a little bit of a problem in that same section that everyone's been having with Chad Lipinski. Looks like Justin Pisani is going to take advantage of that and look underneath the 18, and will get the second spot heading onto the final front straightaway. And he will get that spot away from Chad Lipinski and try to run down Tyler Diefer. So these three guys definitely have broken away from the field a little bit. David Lee Bibson sits in fourth. He's now entering the picture. And it looks like maybe Justin Pisani is going to have a shot at passing Diefer here, as he's caught up to him. And Pisani in that special CCM Dodge will not really do any different than Chad Lipinski did, but maybe down this straightaway, Justin Pisani can't get the job done. Still has a nose under there, but can't quite pull off the deal. And the 16 is going to have to follow the 20 for a little bit longer. And he's gonna have a little bit of a challenge with the 18 all over him. And Justin Pisani is actually going to get into the grass a little bit, and he's going to stay in third. David Lee Bibson is now catching these guys because of that. Down to the next corner here on lap 20, Chad Lipinski is finally going to make the move and get underneath Tyler Diefer and make the first on-track lead change of the race. And Chad Lipinski is your new leader here at Road America. Took long enough for Tyler Diefer to get past, but looks like it's going to just pile on to him now as David Lee Bibson and Justin Pisani are now all over him. And the 57 has now passed Justin Pisani for third. Mentioned earlier that he's having a fantastic run, and David Lee Bibson seems like every time he has these runs something does go wrong, but we'll see if the Caterpillar Dodge can keep it up and maybe get his first win since 2009 at Michigan. Bibson's definitely had a rough season. Mac DiCario has entered the fray here, a massive battle for second as Pisani gets into the grass a little bit. Tyler Diefer and I believe that was Grant Jacobs also back there, 3 wide for third. Bibson runs it off a little bit, gets into the grass, and it looks like Pisani is going to be the odd man out here. Definitely don't want to be trapped on the outside through this corner, and he's going to get into the grass a little bit. That'll definitely ruin this battle, and wow, he slides off quite a bit. Todd Bradshaw and Tommy Richer have also caught them, so Pisani goes from second to about 7th in one corner. DiCario is going to get around Tyler Diefer for the second position. DiCario's been solidly in the top 10 this entire race, just now making his way back up to second, and the McDonald's Buick, last year's champion, continues to have a strong season and is looking to have another great showing here at Road America. Darian Manor in the 92 has definitely lost some steam in this one after starting at the front, and he's going to blow the engine, and the 92 will limp back to the pits. Definitely a day that was looking like it was going to be a strong day for this team, but definitely has gone downhill. And the Little Caesars Chevrolet will not cause a yellow, but he will retire from the race. Just the second car to do so. The 20 of Tyler Diefer is going to continue to fall back as Tommy Richer has got around him now fairly easily. Looks like the damage on the right side of the 20 is going to start affecting him now as he's going to fall way back. He's not even in the top 5 anymore. Tommy Richer continues to have a strong run as he gets around David Lee Bibson for third. The Best Buy Ford definitely picking up steam as this race has gone on. Hasn't really been at the front all race. Started mid-pack, and the 2 car takes the third spot away from David Lee Bibson and the Cat Dodge, and he begins his pursuit on Mac DiCario. A little bit later on, here's Todd Bradshaw getting off the racetrack just as Jimmy Cohone did. However, this one does bring out the yellow, but Todd Bradshaw is having a quiet yet solid run, just now entering the top 5, and the U.S. Army Dodge done for the race on lap 25. What a heartbreak for that team. That whole entire organization has just had a miserable weekend, and the only bright spot is now taken out of the race. Lap 28, we have our restart. You see the field just goes absolutely berserk as Nate Smith in the 83 was actually a lap down, single file restart because it was under 10 to go, just 4 laps remaining, and the 83 would bunch the entire field up. Everyone just going 3 and 4 wide down the front straightaway. Somehow they make it through the first corner, and you see right here David Lee Bibson, who currently holds second, getting passed by Tommy Richer in the 2. And it looks like the 2 is going to have a fairly easy time getting around him. And you see Keith Davis is actually in 4th. Haven't mentioned his name basically all year. The 88 car doing a fantastic job here at Road America in the 4th position, just ahead of Justin Pisani and Greg Sauer, who's very good at road courses, in the 6th position. So a lot of these guys who have had quiet runs are starting to appear and be more notable as this race goes on. As we just mentioned, Keith Davis in the 88 having a very solid run. That team desperately needs a solid run like this to get back on track. And here he goes for the 3rd position on Tommy Richer. Richer got a little bit off racetrack just as everyone else did, and he will not even lose that spot. But Keith Davis running very well in the number 88. David Lee Bibson going for the lead now, and he will get underneath the 18 car. Doesn't look like he's going to get it done, though. Chad Lipinski has a very strong race car, and that isn't obviously, as we've seen this race go on, is not a good spot to pass. And he proves it right there, as we see Tommy Richard now getting underneath 57, the leader. Lipinski and Bibson both got off track there. Tommy Richard, great run through that corner. He is now back up to the second position. Justin Pisani back up to fourth. Tommy Richard continues to have a strong run as he tries to run down Lipinski. These two had a great rookie points battle a couple of years ago, and Richard trying to get underneath the 18, however, can't get it done as of yet. And the 2 car, definitely very fast, the fastest car on the racetrack since the green flag dropped, and he's showing it right now. Had a very quiet run at the beginning of the race, and here he is going for the lead on the 18. Gets it done with 3 laps to go, and Tommy Richard is your new leader here at Road America, just the 3rd lead change of the race. Chad Lipinski once again looking underneath the 2 for the lead. A great battle here with 2 laps to go, and looks like the 2 is going to prevail once again. That spot, just not a good passing zone, and the 2 car holds the lead. Pretty big lead for Tommy Richard here as we have the white flag flying for the last lap. And it looks like Jack Jefferson once again is off the racetrack and is going to stall the car. Jack Jefferson's had a very poor race, and just insult to injury for him here on the white flag as that car stalls and does not finish. Tommy Richard, though, has pretty decent lead on Chad Lipinski. Runs it a bit wide. Here comes Lipinski off the final corner. Could we have a photo finish on our hands? Chad Lipinski looking to the inside. However, Tommy Richard is going to hold him up and win the Road America 200, his 2nd career win. Tommy Richard is your winner here at Road America. What a great finish. What a great race. And Tommy Richard returning to victory lane. So Tommy Richard wins at Road America. Great drive by him. Only leads 3 laps of the 32 completed in this one. Chad Lipinski, strong run, led 10 of the 32 laps. He finishes 2nd. Ricardo Blanco, did not mention his name once, and we also mentioned that Oppink had an awful day. He ended up finishing 3rd, came out of absolutely nowhere to finish in the 3rd position. Justin Pisani finishes 4th. Sean Glossum finishes 5th. He had a very quiet run as well. David Lee Bibson, strong run, started 6th and will finish there. Nick Black also had a quiet run, finishes 7th. Keith Davis with a very nice run in the 8th position. Brian Hensler finishes 9th, and Tim Averill finishes in the 10th position. All those guys had quiet yet solid runs. Michael Carter, our championship leader, finished in the 12th position. Mac DiCario finished 13th, and Tyler Diefer ended up finishing in the 25th position. Onto the point standings. Michael Carter leads them by 200 points over his teammate Sean Glossum in the 9. Mike Oppenheimer is 3rd, 227 points back. Seems like from 2nd down to 10th is all very close, but from 1st to 2nd is obviously not very close. DiCario falls back to 4th. Carson Crompton 5th. Nick Black is in 6th. Alex Yates 7th. Jonathan Ringer 8th. Ricardo Blanco 9th. And Tyler Diefer falls a spot after dominating this one. He resides in the 10th position in the point standings. Next week, we head to the Michigan International Speedway for the Little Caesars 250. Stay tuned. There's more Ampage Racing Series action. We're finishing up the 2015 season, so definitely stay tuned for the AARS at Michigan.